The Vikings, fierce warriors from Scandinavia, first appeared off the Irish coast in the late 8th century. Their longships, sleek and swift, carried them from their homelands in search of riches and new lands to conquer. The Irish, used to a life of relative peace, were ill-prepared for the ferocity of the Viking raids. Monasteries, repositories of wealth and learning, were plundered. Coastal settlements were put to the torch. The Vikings, it seemed, had brought with them a new age of violence and uncertainty. The initial impact of the Vikings was devastating. The Irish, caught off guard, struggled to defend themselves against the Viking onslaught. The Vikings, skilled warriors and ruthless raiders, seemed unstoppable. Yet, even in these early days of conflict, the seeds of a more complex relationship were being sown. As the Vikings established a foothold in Ireland, their relationship with the native Irish began to evolve. What began as a campaign of raids and plunder gradually transformed into something more nuanced. The Vikings, pragmatists as well as warriors, recognized the strategic importance of Ireland. Its fertile lands, abundant resources, and strategic location made it a valuable prize. Trade flourished between the Vikings and the Irish. Viking settlements, strategically located along the coast, became important trading hubs. Dublin, Waterford, Limerick. These Viking strongholds emerged as thriving centres of commerce, linking Ireland to a vast network of trade routes that spanned the Viking world. Irish goods, from wool and furs to finely crafted metalwork, were highly prized in Viking markets. In return, the Vikings brought with them exotic goods from distant lands. Silks from the east, silver from the Byzantine Empire, and walrus ivory from the frozen north. This burgeoning trade brought wealth to both the Vikings and the Irish, fostering a growing interdependence between the two peoples. The growing Viking presence in Ireland, however, was not without its challenges. The Vikings, ambitious and power-hungry, were not content to remain as mere traders and settlers. They craved land, power, and a share of the spoils of war. This ambition brought them into direct conflict with the native Irish, sparking a series of wars and power struggles that would shape the destiny of both peoples. The competition for resources was a major source of tension. As the Viking settlements expanded, they encroached upon the lands of Irish kings and chieftains. This led to inevitable clashes, as both sides fought to protect their territory and resources. Power struggles also erupted within Irish society itself. The Vikings, with their military prowess and political savvy, were quick to exploit divisions among the Irish. They forged alliances with Irish kings and chieftains, offering their support in exchange for land power and a share of the spoils of war. The Viking influence on Ireland, however, extended far beyond the battlefield. Their maritime expertise, honed over centuries of seafaring, left an indelible mark on Irish shipbuilding and navigation. The Vikings were master shipbuilders, and their longships, marvels of engineering and craftsmanship, were the envy of the maritime world. The Irish, traditionally a seafaring people themselves, were quick to adopt and adapt Viking shipbuilding techniques. The sleek lines, shallow draft, and versatile sail plans of the longship revolutionized Irish seafaring, allowing them to travel farther, faster, and with greater ease. Viking navigation techniques, including the use of celestial navigation and the mastery of tidal currents, were also eagerly adopted by the Irish. This newfound maritime prowess had a profound impact on Irish trade, exploration, and naval warfare. Section 5. The clangor of steel, weaponry, and warfare. The Vikings were not only skilled shipbuilders but also formidable warriors. Their weapons, forged in the fires of their Scandinavian homelands, were renowned for their craftsmanship and lethality. The Vikings introduced new weapons and tactics to Ireland, transforming the nature of warfare on the Emerald Isle. The Viking axe, a fearsome weapon in the hands of a skilled warrior, became a symbol of Viking might. Their swords, double-edged and deadly, were prized for their balance and sharpness. Viking shields, round and sturdy, provided effective protection in the heat of battle. Irish warriors, no strangers to warfare themselves, were quick to recognize the effectiveness of Viking weaponry and tactics. They adopted Viking weapons and fighting styles, integrating them into their own military traditions. This fusion of military cultures led to a more dynamic and fluid style of warfare in Ireland. Section 6. A fusion of faiths and customs. The blending of Viking and Irish cultures extended beyond the realms of trade and warfare. Over time, a more subtle and enduring form of cultural exchange began to take root, a fusion of faiths, customs, and traditions. The Vikings, initially pagans who worshipped a pantheon of Norse gods, gradually adopted elements of Christianity, the dominant religion in Ireland. This religious conversion was not always a smooth or straightforward process. There were tensions and conflicts as the two faiths grappled for dominance. Yet over time, a unique form of syncretism emerged, a blending of Viking and Christian beliefs and practices. Viking gods and goddesses were absorbed into the Irish pantheon, often assuming the roles of saints or folk heroes. Christian churches and monasteries were adorned with Viking artistic motifs, a testament to the enduring legacy of the Northmen. This fusion of faiths and customs is evident in the archaeological record and in the folklore and traditions that have been passed down through generations of Irish people. Section 7. The Battle of Clontarf, a turning point in history. The Battle of Clontarf, fought on Good Friday in 1014, was a pivotal moment in Viking-Irish relations. It was a clash of titans, a battle that would decide the fate of Ireland. Brian Boru, the High King of Ireland, led a coalition of Irish forces against the Viking army of Dublin, led by the fearsome Viking warrior Sihtric Silkbeard. The battle was a bloody and brutal affair, a testament to the ferocity of both sides. In the end, Brian Boru's forces emerged victorious, but at a terrible cost. Brian himself was slain, along with many of his finest warriors. The Viking army was routed, but their power in Ireland was not broken. The Battle of Clontarf, while a significant victory for the Irish, did not mark the end of the Viking presence in Ireland. Viking Dublin remained a thriving centre of trade and culture for centuries to come. Section 8. The enduring legacy of the Northmen. The Viking Age in Ireland, though marked by violence and upheaval, left an enduring legacy on the Emerald Isle. The Vikings, once feared raiders, became an integral part of Irish society, their bloodlines mingling with those of the native Irish. Their influence can still be seen today in the names of places, in the DNA of the Irish people, and in the rich tapestry of Irish culture. The Vikings left their mark on Irish language, with many Norse words and phrases finding their way into everyday speech. They influenced Irish art, music, and storytelling, adding a new layer of complexity and richness to Irish culture. The Viking legacy is particularly evident in Ireland's urban centres, many of which were founded by the Vikings. Dublin, Waterford, Cork. These cities still bear the imprint of their Viking origins in their street plans, their architecture, and their maritime heritage. Section 9. A tapestry woven from two threads. The story of the Vikings in Ireland is not a simple tale of conquest or assimilation. It is a more nuanced and complex story, a tale of two cultures colliding, clashing, and ultimately blending together to create something new and vibrant. The Vikings, once feared raiders, became traders, settlers, and even rulers in Ireland. They intermarried with the Irish, adopted their customs, and embraced their faith. The legacy of the Vikings in Ireland is a testament to the enduring power of cultural exchange. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit has an uncanny ability to adapt, to innovate, and to create something new and beautiful from the ashes of conflict. The Viking Age in Ireland, though long over, continues to fascinate and inspire, offering valuable lessons about the complexities of history, the power of culture, and the enduring bonds that unite us all.